Most empires ruled through fear. Persia ruled through control. They didn't conquer the ancient world through chaos. They conquered it by design. The world was already old with empires. Assyria ruled by terror, Egypt by tradition. Persia chose a third path. Cyrus did not just conquer lands. He conquered hearts and minds. His genius was understanding that to hold an empire, you must let its people live. He allowed conquered peoples to maintain their own religions, their own customs, their own ways of life. When he entered Babylon, he didn't burn it to the ground. He presented himself as a liberator. His famous declaration, preserved on the Cyrus cylinder, promises to restore displaced peoples to their homes. This wasn't just mercy, it was a revolutionary strategy. He understood that true, lasting power wasn't held by the sword alone, but by winning the loyalty of the governed. To rule the largest empire in history, Persia made a revolutionary choice. Don't rule it directly. The empire was divided into provinces, or satrapies, each managed by a carefully structured team. At the top was the satrap, a civil governor, usually from the Persian elite, but his power was not absolute. The military commander in the province answered directly to the king, not the satrap. And watching them both was a third official, the royal secretary, known as the king's eyes and ears. Power was divided. Loyalty was channeled to the center. No single man in a province held the sword, the purse, and the law. To millennia before Montesquieu, Persia invented checks and balances. It was a system designed to prevent any one official from becoming powerful enough to challenge the throne, ensuring stability across a vast and diverse territory. Control is an illusion without communication. Speed is power. The Persians understood this better than anyone before them. Their solution was the Royal Road, an engineering marvel stretching over 2,500 kilometers from the heartland of Susa to the western coast at Sardis. But the road itself was only half the equation. Along this artery were a series of relay stations, perfectly spaced and provisioned with fresh horses and riders. An elite corps of messengers, the Angarium, could carry a royal decree across the entire empire in about 7 days a journey that would take a normal traveler 3 months. Rebellion spread slower than the king's response. An order given in the palace could be executed at the farthest frontier before a local problem could escalate into a full-blown crisis. As the historian Herodotus famously wrote, "Neither snow nor rain nor heat nor gloom of night stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds." Information was control. Persia did not plunder its empire. It systematized it. Chaos is bad for business. Stability is profitable. The Persians introduced standardized weights, measures, and most importantly, a standardized currency. The gold daric and the silver siglos became a universal economic language, facilitating trade from India to Greece. Just as crucial was a system of predictable taxation. Each satrapy paid a fixed annual tribute, calculated based on its agricultural output and economic productivity. There were no surprise levies, no random seizures of wealth. This predictability gave merchants, farmers, and craftsmen the confidence to invest and produce. The state, in turn, invested that wealth back into infrastructure like the Royal Road and sophisticated irrigation canals called khanats, further boosting prosperity. People knew what was expected. They knew the rules. In that predictability lay a powerful incentive: loyalty. Persia made a discovery that would elude conquerors for centuries. You cannot command faith, so they didn't try. Cyrus set the precedent by allowing the Jews to return from their Babylonian exile and rebuild their temple in Jerusalem. His successors, like Darius, continued this policy, even funding the restoration of foreign temples in Egypt and Babylon. There was no attempt to force the Persian language, its gods, or its culture upon conquered peoples. This was not modern multiculturalism born of idealism. This was cold, brilliant calculus. By respecting local traditions and religions, the Persian kings removed one of the most common and powerful motivators for rebellion. Why rise up against an empire that lets you live your life, worship your gods, and protects your trade? Tolerance wasn't kindness. It was the most effective strategy of control ever devised. But every system has its flaw, every design a weakness. Persia's very strength, its decentralized, stable order, could become a fatal vulnerability. The empire had become vast, perhaps too vast, stretching its resources thin. The carefully designed system of checks and balances could, over time, decay into corruption as distant satraps began to act like independent kings. The empire's stability made it predictable. And into this world of order stepped the perfect challenger, Alexander of Macedon. He was a commander of unpredictable, blinding speed, a military genius who operated outside the established rules of warfare. He didn't just fight Persia's armies, he targeted the very structure of its control. Persia did not fall because it was weak or chaotic. It fell because a young king studied its blueprint and learned how to dismantle it. The Persian Empire proved that supreme power does not require brutality. That authority can be built on roads, laws, and calculated grace. Its legacy is not one of ruins, but of an idea. That order is the highest form of power. The greatest empires are not remembered for the fear they inspired, but for the world they built. But what happens when an empire is built not on brilliant design, but on relentless force? When expansion becomes an addiction? Next time, on Networks of Destiny, we examine Rome's meteoric rise and uncover the fatal flaw that festered at its very heart. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for our next journey into history.